Beneath the turbulent waves of the oceans lies a realm of tranquil beauty that none can fathom, a world so different that its strange creatures beckon us to explore the breadth and depth of their existence. As mankind reached out to experience a small piece of its mysteries, ignorance led to the demise of ocean habitats. Since their knowledge of the seas grew, they realized these fragile oceanic organisms are easily affected by pollution.
Among the few who noticed these changes was Jacques Cousteau, a French ocean explorer who recognized the beauty and brutality within the ocean and unveiled his findings to the public. He was an adventurer, inventor, pioneer, and environmentalist who conducted voyages to explore the deep seas. With over 50 books and 115 films, he opened up underwater life to the masses.
Cousteau also recorded the beauty of the ocean through his documentaries. In his recorded chronicles, he highlighted wild ocean life in their natural habitat. Since the general public was unaware of what lurked beneath the ocean, Cousteau's films brought the unknown ocean world into the public's view. As an environmentalist, Cousteau publicized the harmful consequences of pollution on our ocean world. Through his work, he encountered the impact of human activity on marine life and their habitats and sought to raise ecological awareness. His son, Jean-Michel Cousteau, said,
"He was among the first to draw attention to the devastating results of overfishing, climate change, and the effect of pollution on our underwater habitats. He became a global ambassador for the sea, a kind of spiritual guide for the environment."
When Cousteau turned 20 years old, he fulfilled his dream to become a naval aircraft pilot by attending the French Naval Academy. In 1936, he survived a near-fatal auto accident, and his career as a pilot was over. While he was in recovery, his friend Philippe Taillet gave him a pair of swimming goggles, which he later used to explore the sea floor. The beauty that he saw deeply inspired him to pursue diving as a career instead of just a hobby.
During World War II, Cousteau and his family took refuge in the town of Megève, France, near the Swiss border. There he met Émile Gagnon, a French engineer who shared his passion for exploration. They experimented with underwater devices and breathing apparatus, and came up with the Aqualung, a twin-hose underwater breathing device, which helped divers stay underwater for longer periods of time. Before its invention in 1942, divers were restricted in their explorations, but the Aqualung allowed them to dive even deeper depths without feeling discomfort. Due to the spread of the Aqualung, scuba diving was open to the public as a recreational activity. Currently, the Aqualung is the most popular piece of diving equipment and is used in modern military operations and underwater films.
Cousteau's creativity, combined with his mechanical skills, helped create an underwater camera that could withstand high-pressure conditions. Cousteau's company, L'Aspiro, collaborated with Nikon to create a Nikonist camera, which revolutionized the public's view of the underwater world. The camera's ease of use and excellent quality made it popular among underwater photographers.
This allowed Cousteau to work on an underwater film titled 18 Meters Deep, which was widely popular with critics and won a Congress of Documentary award. He was able to exchange information with the public, and in return he gained public support to continue his expeditions.
In 1948, Cousteau led an underwater expedition in the Mediterranean Sea to find the Roman shipwreck Madia. This was the beginning of underwater archaeology. Soon after, Cousteau leased a British minesweeper. In order to conduct underwater field research, Cousteau transformed it into an oceanographic research vessel known as the Calypso.
In an effort to raise public awareness about his projects and to attract media attention, Cousteau published the immensely popular novel The Silent World, which sold more than 5 million copies in more than 22 languages. In our interview with Jacques Cousteau's son, Jean-Michel, he states,
That was for Jacques Cousteau the beginning of a very popular time where, starting at the time, millions and millions of people started looking at his shows, but the Silent World was in theaters all over the world. And that's what really put Cousteau on the map.
The success of The Silent World paved the way for the National Geographic Society to begin financing Cousteau's expeditions. They believed in the same mission to explore and share stories about the natural world. This new source of revenue allowed Cousteau to explore the Red Sea, where he and his team discovered previously unknown plant and animal species, as well as volcanic basins.
In 1960, Cousteau organized an important campaign against the French government's plan to dump atomic waste in the oceans. Cousteau says,
"The sea is the global sewer, the ultimate receptacle, eventually glutted with all of the pollution generated on Earth. Each time our population doubles by some estimates, pollution multiplies 6 times, all of it into the fluids of life, all of it ending up in the sea. Out of sight, out of mind."
This petition caused such a public outcry where women and children sat on railroad tracks to make the trains halt their dump of toxic material into the ocean. This marked Cousteau as an activist and environmentalist. A role such as this enabled him to share his encounters about subterranean pollution and caused the public to join him in protecting marine life.
in 1962, Captain Cousteau designed an underwater habitat known as the Conshelf 1. Aquanauts lived in this underwater laboratory for a week and were monitored to see the mental and physical effects of living underwater. This allowed the United States Navy to develop underwater projects such as Sea Lab, and NASA used the techniques from the Conshelf missions to train astronauts for zero-gravity environments.
After many successful documentaries, he produced a popular television series, The Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau. This series documented his ocean travels in the Calypso and his encounters with various sea creatures and their environments. The program surfaced the secrets of the ocean, inciting wonder in his audience. Both adults and children gathered weekly to watch an underwater experience unlike any other. They wanted to experience adventures along with Captain Cousteau with his signature red hat, to explore a silent world. Over the years, as Cousteau revisited places he filmed in the past, he noticed the effects that human activities had on the ocean. The Human, the Orchid, and the Octopus, a book written by Cousteau, states,
About 30 years later, I returned to L'Aveyron with my Calypso team. We dived at the same depth to the same caves at the same time of the year. The grotto was empty. Not one single fish lived in the rocks. The verdant gardens were gone. Straggling sponges and a few clumps of grass were studded there like scattered tombstones. Human beings had polluted the seawater and mechanically destroyed the nearby coast. All life had paid this price.
Cousteau continued to produce television specials, such as Cries from the Deep and St. Lawrence, Stairway to the Sea, with strong environmental messages to protect oceanic habitats. With its increased popularity, Cousteau established the Cousteau Society in 1973, which was dedicated to marine conservation. It rapidly gained support and soon attracted 300,000 people worldwide.
In our interview with Jacques Cousteau's grandson, Fabien Cousteau, he states,
In his later years, he dedicated his life to championing the rights for future generations as he became a conservationist, and that he was urging the world to change their ways and to change their decision-making.
On June 25, 1997, Jacques Cousteau, the French oceanographer, friend, and protector of the sea, died of a heart attack at his home in Paris. He had opened more of the Earth's surface to human endeavor than any other explorer. He was 87.
In exchange for the work that he did, Cousteau received many achievements over his lifetime, including the Cannes and Bambi Film Awards, Oscars, Emmys, a National Geographic Gold Medal by John F. Kennedy, and even the Presidential Medal of Freedom, America's highest civilian honor by President Ronald Reagan.
Although Cousteau's life ended, his vision still lives on. Cousteau raised awareness of the beauty beneath the sea, as well as mankind's responsibility to marine habitats. His children and grandchildren are involved in various TV series and environmental organizations.
Through Cousteau's work, the world's oceans are now protected by stricter laws. In 1986, Cousteau helped convince the International Whaling Commission to approve the ban on commercial whaling.
Cousteau, a pioneer of the sea, conducted explorations of the ocean habitats, which enabled him to encounter the effects of human interventions. He used his role as an educator to exchange his findings with the public. Cousteau pushed people to be good stewards of one of our greatest resources and was an inspiration for future generations. After Cousteau's death, oceanographic organizations responded to Cousteau by continuing his purpose to preserve ocean life.
For most of history, man has had to fight nature to survive. In this century, he's beginning to realize that in order to survive, he must protect it.